Well, ladies and gentlemen, this tweet went out today, 12 hours ago, and I was spam pinged with people requesting a reaction. We're teaming up with Marvel Snap, Marvel Puzzle Quest, and Marvel Future Fight, that's us, to bring you a brand new collaboration available on January 3rd. Keep an eye out for further updates. So this is huge. It's going to be available January 3rd. Now, if you consult your handy-dandy calendar, you will see that January 3rd is actually this Friday, in just 3 days from when this video drops. That is way too soon for a Marvel Future Fight update. And in fact, we're expecting an update tonight on the 31st for Gambit and Sharon. And then we're actually expecting nothing for the next, 3 weeks. Because if you go in-game to Marvel Future Fight, the Future Pass, which is the Battle Pass that, sort of gives you an idea of when these updates are coming out, is 24 days and counting. You can see there in the top corner, 24 days, 10 hours. So we are far and away. We're 3 to 4 weeks away from the next full update. And they already said in the live stream announcement with 3RL that the Sharon and Gambit mid-month was going to be the 2-week mid-month, except it's 1 week away, and that there wasn't going to be another mid-month. So this is a bit confusing, and it leads me to believe that they probably mean that they're either going to start revealing things on the 3rd, or things are going to start dropping in Rivals on the 3rd, and then they're going to start dropping in these other games later. And in fact, things I think have already dropped in Snap and Puzzle Quest related to Marvel Rivals. If you take a look at Marvel Puzzle Quest, they've already posted things like this on their Instagram, where they're getting a new skin for Namor from Marvel Rivals. And they also have a new season pass featuring Namor Marvel Rivals. And then they also have Groot and Rocket. So they've actually already started advertising this. Similarly, in Marvel Snap, you can already see variant covers or variant cards for Rocket, Raccoon, and Groot, and you have a bunch of other ones. And in fact, there's actually a huge list. I don't know how much of this is already in the game versus data mine because I don't play Marvel Snap, but you can see there's a huge laundry list of characters from Penny Parker to Scarlet Witch to Magneto to Thor, even including some characters that haven't been released in Marvel Rivals yet, like Doom, and of course the narrator, Galacta, who is not a playable character. So they've already sort of kicked things off in a big way in both Snap and Puzzle Quest, leaving me wondering if Marvel Future Fight is just going to start to reveal things on the 3rd, or maybe Rivals will get Future Fight stuff that will then bleed over into our game much, much later. So what I actually wanted to do now, since I've covered that, is to dive in to Marvel Rivals and queue up some games. No, I'm not going to queue up any games because I suck. But what I want to do is I want to show you guys, in case you haven't been able to play for whatever reason, and you haven't been able to see things, there's a bunch of characters. I think there's 30-something characters. I can do some quick maths here. There's 7, 14, 21, 28. There's 32 characters. So these are all of the characters that are in the game right now in Rivals, and I believe every single one of them, besides Penny Parker, is in, and Jeff the Shark, of course, Jeff the Land Shark. All of the other characters are in, and Cloak and Dagger. Sorry, okay. So let me say that. 3 characters in Marvel Rivals do not exist in Marvel Future Fight. Cloak and Dagger, Jeff the Land Shark, and then Penny Parker. So there's absolutely a possibility, however slim, that we could be seeing a new character or 2 or 3. And if you ask me, my money is on Cloak and Dagger because they have been a long-requested character. If you guys remember back in, I want to say 2020 or 2020, no, it must have been 2020 or 2019, we had a character voting poll. And Sentry was on that list, Galactus was on that list, Null was on that list. You know who else was on that list that never got added to the game for 4 years? Cloak and Dagger. Yeah, seriously. So that would probably be my #1 pick for a brand new character, would be Cloak and Dagger, and of course they would have their look from Marvel Rivals. Jeff the Landshark, I think, is, despite being super cute, I think he's very unlikely given the fact that he's an animal and he's so small. It's just, I don't know, we don't have a lot of other animals in the game besides Gorilla Man, and he's literally a gorilla, or Warwolf. There is some precedence for anthropomorphic characters, but it's still a little bit dicey. And then Penny Parker, yeah, I think there's a good chance she could be added to the game. But I would think if I were Netmarble, I would position the offer or the request to Marvel as, let's do part 1 Marvel Rivals collab with Cloak and Dagger, and then if it goes really well and Marvel Future Fight is still making the big bucks come 2025 or 2026, we will do like a new Spider-Verse update, and that's when we'll add in Penny Parker, because obviously Penny Parker, a lesser well-known character in the Marvel verse. If you've seen the animated Miles Morales movies, you know her, but if not, you don't. So I think she kind of coming in on her own would be a little bit less strong than coming in a Spider-Verse update. Beyond new characters, though, I think the bigger guess, or the more likely thing, I don't think characters are actually that likely. I think the more likely thing is new uniforms. And it's interesting because we can actually eliminate a bunch of uniforms here from contention. For example, I can tell you with almost 100% certainty, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to guess there's no way we get a Hulk uniform for a couple of reasons here. One, this is just default Hulk, right? There's really nothing in the design that is new for the game. Yeah, the belt is a little bit different. That's it. And I guess the haircut is a little bit more like fuckboy, but that's it. That's literally it, right? We already have this Hulk in Marvel Future Fight. Similarly, this is kind of a more techno, robo, cyberpunk sort of Steve Rogers, but it's still very, very close to what we have in the game. And we just got zombie Captain America. So again, unlikely. Same goes for Doctor Strange. Very, very similar to his look from the movie from 2016. The regular Doctor Strange. And again, the fact that we got Zombie Strange so recently probably rules him out as a possibility. Same goes for Iron Man for all of those same reasons that I listed there. And then we can also rule out characters like, I know you guys are really hot for Psylocke, and she's really cool in this game, don't get me wrong, but she just got a seasonal uniform a few months ago. It would be like almost insulting to the game, to the players, if Psylocke were to get another uniform. Same thing goes for Spider-Man just being added to the symbiote team. Would they take him off of that team? There's like a next to zero chance that they would do that. That's very, very unlikely. Thor, again, got a uniform this year. Venom just got a uniform. And then Wolverine has his MCU look, which I don't think they want to replace with this. Honestly, I think this is one of the weaker designs in the game. So yeah, I think that this one, like, I personally don't even want to see this one. I prefer the Hugh Jackman one. It's height accurate for sure, but the boots and stuff, it's just a little odd in my opinion. It fits the aesthetic of the game, but I don't think it really works beyond. So with those characters out of the way, who could we realistically see get a... Scarlet Witch got a uniform not that long ago, and it's, again, very, very similar to this one here. So realistically, with those out of the way, who could we see getting an upgrade? Well, from there, like, really, the sky's the limit. I think a really good contender is Groot. Because they have established the Guardians of the Galaxy ability tag. They only gave Gamora and Star-Lord tier 4s. I think Groot could really be a tier 4 with synergistic PvP properties to push a more otherworld battle-themed Guardians of the Galaxy lineup. So I actually think Groot is a big contender here. I think in general, I would choose and I would sort of bet on uniforms from rivals that look very different from what we have in Marvel Future Fight. And this is... Again, although Groot is always a tree, this looks very different than even the most tree-like Groots that we have in the game. Another option would be a character like Iron Fist or Namor. Not that popular, but again, super different in terms of the look compared to anything we have in the game right now. And in Iron Fist's case, he could sort of set up in advance for a Defenders update in the future where they give the other Defenders, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Daredevil, the tier 4 treatment. They could do existing tier 4s like Namor, although they did release combat villains recently, quite a few of them, so it's less likely with Carnage and Captain America and stuff. It's a little bit less likely that we go and get yet another combat villain, so it'll be interesting if they make him a hero again, if they change his typing, etc. I think someone like Moon Knight or Magic would be really, really nice, just because Moon Knight hasn't gotten anything since his tier 4 years ago, and Magic got that seasonal one, which is quite trash. I think in general, seasonals have a really good chance of getting replaced. So in terms of seasonals, we have Luna, very unlikely, but it's possible that she gets a Rivals themed uniform. Although this is basically her base look from Marvel Future Fight. She's in this game because of Marvel Future Fight. So you actually have to pause and think about that for a second. How cool is that, right? Marvel Future Fight succeeding as a game giving Danny Koo the opportunity to make Luna Snow and you know, gracing Luna Snow with this game with Marvel Future Fight, then the Marvel Future Fight's continued success allows Luna Snow to then transition into other games like Super War and then finally into Marvel Rivals. So I think that's super duper cool. I'm really happy to see her, you know, succeed as a character because I think her design is fantastic. And it's really, really nice. So yeah, I could definitely see like an homage being paid back to Future Fight by sort of re-adding her. Again, Magic, this is her kind of her default look, but she sucks now in the game. She needs a tier 4 badly, and she needs a replacement for the seasonal. Same thing with Storm. Storm doesn't suck. She does have a tier 4, but she's kind of getting a little bit old now because it's 2 years old almost. Or yeah, two or 2.5 years old. And although this is not my favorite look for Storm, they could certainly go with something different. I would welcome a non-paywall Storm uniform. I think that would be fantastic. Similarly, Squirrel Girl. Yeah, believe it or not, a lot of people like Squirrel Girl in this game for reasons that I won't get into. But she could absolutely deserve, you know, a tier 4 and sort of getting pushed out of that paywall nightmare that she's in with that Thanos Squirrel Girl outfit. I mean, it was cool aesthetically, but let's be real. Nobody was buying that shit, right? So they could maybe finally buy it. Maybe she could compete with Luna for speed, female, hero, human, right? There's actually quite a few options when you put it that way. And then the last option I would say is like kind of like the losers of Marvel Future Fight. There's quite a few here, but for example, Winter Soldier. Now I don't think this is a great option, not because it's not a cool look. It's a very cool look and it's new and we don't have this look, but because he's probably going to be getting something for Thunderbolt, so I don't think they're going to double dip, although I would love to see him get a tier 4 and kind of come back to the meta. I think Punisher is a much better option. Not the biggest fan of this look for him, but it is technically new to the game. It's mostly just the face paint. The rest of it's just like standard Frank Castle. But yeah, Frank absolutely deserves a tier 4. It's been a long time that he's been in the mud. He needs a big bump here. Mantis, although she got a uniform not too long ago, this is extremely new, much more alien, much more like freaky, psychedelic. And again, she could use the tier 4. She kind of deserves it. Same thing goes with Rocket, although he got the Guardians uniform. A lot of people thought he should have gotten tier 4 for the movie because the movie was basically about him, if you've seen it. He didn't get a tier 4. That uniform sucked. Maybe they were just saving up for when they were going to drop this bad boy. Maybe they'll do a Groot and Rocket kind of combo thing. Black Widow, not a bad option. Again, unique look. She needs a new upgrade. She's a sort of wilted tier 4. They've been upgrading a lot of the Avengers. It makes a ton of sense. Well, actually, no. Hawkeye... no. Hawkeye's in the exact same boat as the characters I mentioned at the beginning, like Cap and Doctor Strange. There's no chance in hell he's getting a uniform because he just got one. As much as I would like Loki to get an upgraded uniform, this is too similar to his base look, and it's just not enough of a change, I think. And then Loki, I think if they're going to do anything for him, they know at this point it has to be God of Stories or something else radically different. I don't think this really cuts it. Last but not least, I do want to mention, despite my better judgment, Adam Warlock. This is a really cool look for him. It's somewhat similar to what we have in the game, minus the staff. The staff is definitely new. And it is a native tier 2, very, very expensive character. You know how Netmarble loves to give their expensive characters a uniform every couple of years to justify us spending on them. Actually, if I had to guess, if I had to construct like a final guess based on everything I've just yapped about ad nauseum, I would say we're going to get Groot, Rocket, and Adam. I think that's what they're going to do. And they're going to finally give Adam the Guardians of the Galaxy tag. And Groot is going to have Guardians of the Galaxy buffs, and Rocket is going to have Guardians of the Galaxy buffs to make a sort of pseudo Guardians of the Galaxy Otherworld Battle PvP team with Rocket and Groot and Adam and maybe like Gamora and Star-Lord, something like that. That's my final guess. But hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you would like to see from Marvel Rivals. I can't wait. I think Marvel doing collabs between games is amazing. I've wanted this for years. I've made countless videos about us collabing with Contest of Champions and Puzzle Quest and all these other games. It's finally happening, so I'm super duper excited for it. And I'd love to hear from you guys. So yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Smash the like button if you enjoyed the content. Some downs if you hated it. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.